Orchid blooms can last for over a month, but after this flowering period, they'll need time to grow and store up energy for next year. Don't worry when the flowers begin to die back. When the last bloom on your orchid is spent, it is time to give your orchid some extra love and care. Start by removing the support to make it easier to get to the flower spikes. If the spike is still green and healthy, follow it down from the tip to below where the first flower grew, and cut just above the node. If you're lucky, your orchid will then produce a secondary flower spike like this one. If the spike is turning yellow or has already died, you can just trim it back to the base of the plant. Your orchid will produce new spikes in the future, so there's no need to worry. When your orchid is done flowering, it's a great time to check how the roots are doing and repot if needed. Usually orchids are sold when they're fully grown and pot-bound. Because of this, they may be troubled by uneven moisture distribution, root rot, or decaying substrate. This orchid is rather cramped and needs to move into a bigger pot. Choose a slightly larger pot that's suitable for orchids. Common moth orchids are epiphytic plants and need a clear pot so their roots can absorb light as well as the leaves. Good drainage is also important. If you want to place your orchid in a cache pot, it should be large enough to let air and light inside. A pot that's too tight might cut off airflow and cause root rot. Orchids will not thrive in an ordinary all-purpose potting soil. Today we're using a mix of orchid bark and sphagnum moss. Some mixes also have elements such as large perlite and leca. Be sure to use a potting mix that's suitable for your plant. Carefully remove the old substrate from around the roots and prune off any roots that are already dead. Partially rotted roots can be trimmed back to a healthy point. Hollow, mushy, shriveled, or dried roots can be pruned off completely. If you enjoyed these guides, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Spraying the roots with hydrogen peroxide helps to eliminate any bacteria or fungi that might harm them later. After doing some maintenance on the roots of your orchid, it's time to repot. You can make your own substrate or purchase a pre-made mix. If you mix your own, hydrate your sphagnum moss and drain out the excess water before repotting your plant. Big clumps of moss might stay too dry or too wet in the pot. Fill your pot partway with substrate and then place the orchid in the center of the pot. Backfill the pot around the roots and tap it gently to settle the substrate. Press gently to fill in empty spaces, but don't press too hard or there won't be any air pockets for your orchid's roots. Water your orchid thoroughly so that all the substrate gets hydrated. Make sure it drains well before it's replaced in the cover pot. You can add your repotting task and give your plant a progress update in your Planta account. It's a great tool to keep track of when you repotted and even the size of the pot or the type of potting medium you used. These plants enjoy a bright spot with lots of indirect light. If you want personalized care for your plants, join us over on the Planta app. From all of us at Planta, happy planting!